Oh, okay.
So welcome to the Easy Fat Release program. This is a program that I've been running and others for quite a number of years now. It certainly has undergone some evolution and refinements and looking to bring you the latest edition. And let's start with a couple of questions. What's your sticking point, or perhaps what's the sticking point of the person that you know that has some challenges regarding weight? A lot of people have packed on some weight over the festive season and it's still there. Perhaps you've got an important event coming up where you want to look fantastic and feel energized. Do you have a sluggish metabolism? Do you have a health challenge that could improve by losing some of your fat? Have you watched your weight creep up and increase as you get older? Very common. Are you tired of those extra kilos of fat around your waist, your buttocks, hips, thighs, your upper arms, your neck, or even your face? And do you exercise without losing weight? A big challenge for a lot of people. And one thing which we're going to touch on as well are endocrine disrupting chemicals, such as BPA sabotaging your weight loss. So what I'll also ask is if people can maybe just mute themselves whilst the program is on, so there's no background noise. So my name is Rene Roth. I'm a natural therapist and homeopath, and I've been in practice, I'll say it very quickly, for 40 years. And certainly I've had a lot of experience with all range of health issues, and particularly with weight loss, and particularly over the last probably 20 years, a lot to do with weight. And with this particular program, the last 13 years. And I can honestly say, I have never seen as such good results with this program as with any other program that I've worked with over the years. This delivers by far the most superior results, whether short-term, long-term, and so many other health benefits. So I'm an absolute convert about the benefits and merits of this program. So let's start with a few testimonials just to give you a sense of the program. Then we'll look at what the program is. We'll look at some breakdown of some of the products, and then we'll finish with some testimonials and some opportunity for your questions. So here's Vanessa, and she says it's not always about the kilos. She was actually someone who didn't want to jump on the scales because she's tried many, many programs over the years and was actually disenfranchised and disencouraged by what number screened back at her on the scales. And she says, what a difference 10 months makes. I've reached my goal with the Easy Fat Release program after 4 months and been able to maintain my goal weight over the past 6 months. My main goal before I started was to feel comfortable in bathers and swim with my children in Hawaii, and I did it. And I've never felt better. So you can see the transformation that she's experienced, which is fantastic. Here's Erica and Russell. Erica released 25 kilos and Russell released 30 kilos, and they completed 2 rounds of the Easy Fat Release program. And to quote, we've both struggled with weight all our adult lives and have tried many programs with no long-term results. We started the program and detoxed our body and our home. We feel healthy and have a house and body clean of toxins. Russell is now off all his drugs for high blood pressure and cholesterol. We have set an example for our 8-year-old son about what it is to lead a healthy, happy life. And so what clearly is evident there, that Russell was on blood pressure medication, and we know for many blood pressure is associated with weight gain, and therefore it is essentially a lifestyle disease. So changing things up, creating the program certainly enabled him to reduce the weight and, in conjunction with the doctor, get off his medication. Here's Eric, who released 38 kilos in total, 20 kilos in 40 days in his first rotation or round of phase 1. He had to retire from competitive rugby. He was overweight, too slow, had arthritic knees, and he's now playing again, looking and feeling 10 years younger, and his knees are great. And like this particular one, this goes back about 12 years ago that he did this program. And so, it's 12 years down the track and still reaping some rewards from the program. And here's Lynn, who actually suffered with some clinical conditions. See, some people are just overweight and that may not have what we call the coexisting morbidity or coexisting condition, but she had, and she's released 34 kilos, having done 2 rounds, and now she's done a second round, released another 10.1 kilos so far. That's 44.1 kilos in total. She was diagnosed with a fatty liver, which her GP said would kill her. That's a pretty sobering thought there, absolutely. Her liver was normal after 2 cycles of the program. Her 20-year-long varicose veins and acne rosacea disappeared in 5 weeks. So the acne rosacea is that redness. You can see in the first photo how red her skin is, and you can see that transition to being really quite clear. And here's Hayley. And Hayley we have on the program here on the webinar tonight. I might get her to share a little bit as well. But first of all, the stats are Hayley released 50.7 kilos and reduced her body fat by a massive 27.9% over 10.5 months. Hayley combined the EFR program with 4 lots of 6-week F45 challenges at the gym. Hayley felt apprehensive about a group fitness environment. To quote, "Given I felt very uncomfortable in my own body, but her desire to lose weight was greater than her fears, and she loved the support and camaraderie from the F45 team." So Hayley, you're on our call tonight. Would you like to share briefly a little bit about your journey through weight loss and how importantly it made you feel both physically and emotionally?
Yeah, so 12 months ago, I just decided through meeting somebody in Geelong that I wanted to give a 45 a go. I was just off 130 kilos, hated life. Everything was a struggle. Even just walking was a daily struggle. And I stepped into F45 for the first time and was just met with such a welcoming vibe from the people I was working out with and the trainers. And then after a few weeks, you know, they said, "Do you want to do the first challenge?" And I thought, yep, I'm going to give it a go. And I have done the EFR program quite successfully in the past, but not sort of made any, I guess, lifestyle changes with it. So, you know, I never successfully kept it off. So I reached out to Renee and thought, you know, I want to try the EFR program in conjunction with my F45 training. And it definitely elevated like my training in being able to help me to release body fat. And over, you know, a period of weeks, months, and the course of the last 12 months, like I now feel comfortable in my own skin. I can push myself physically. Mentally, I've never felt better. My sleep has improved out of sight. I have so much more energy. I want to go to bed early. I want to wake up early. I actually want to exercise. And like even my job is so much easier now. Like every single aspect of my life has improved just through improving my physical and mental health and fitness.
That's absolutely fantastic, Hayley, and you're a testament to someone who commits to a couple of things, the program and also your exercise. And for you, that was a wonderful combination that really has worked for you. So well done and congratulations.
Thanks.
Thanks for sharing. This program, for a lot of people, and certainly that was for myself, you tend to share it with family first. And this is my sister, who's done the program a few times over the years. And her first time, she released 19.5 kilos in 40 days. It should be in phase 1. This program has turned back my biological clock. So that's my sister. Now, being at this time, at that stage when she did it, and this goes back to about 2012 or so, she was a teacher, had no time, chose to have no time for exercise. She just couldn't fit it into her schedule. And you know, life gets in the way, and maybe 18 months or 2 years later, she'd do the program again. And maybe of the 19.5 kilos that she shifted, you might slip back 5 kilos or something and do that again and then have a net benefit. So she's someone who has come and done the program a few times over those years. And sharing that then with her husband, and this is her husband, Colin. He released 20 kilos in 40 days during phase 1. And Colin actually is a type 2 insulin-dependent diabetic. And with the EFR program, he was able to reduce his insulin from 15 units 3 times a day, that's 45 units, down to 5 units twice a day. So that's a total of 10. So that's a significant drop. And you can see the change in body shape, certainly that he was able to achieve with the EFR program. So let's have a look. Can everyone just mute themselves while we're on the webinar? We have a problem, absolutely, that obesity and being overweight are significant issues. Here's a chart I grabbed today. And we can see how on the one on the left, the age rates and the number in purple is the percentage of people that are overweight, and in the green is actually obese. And that does tend to, from the age of 16, increase with age, both the rates of obesity and being overweight. And the maximum tends to be around about 45 to 65 years of age. So it's a significant issue. You only have to look around you to see the number of people who are struggling with their weight. To put it plainly, 7 in 10 adult males are either overweight or obese. 1 in 2 women are either overweight or obese. And unfortunately, tragically, 1 in 4 children are also overweight or obese. In fact, the number here in Australia is that 5 million Australians are obese. So that's a BMI greater than 30 kilos, I think that is. So it's a sobering statistic. Now, for some people, it's just about weight loss, but some people have what we call comorbidities or associated health issues with being overweight. Being overweight actually drives many of these conditions. It drives pulmonary disease. It drives hypertension, increases your risk of stroke and cataract, increases your risk of coronary heart disease, pancreatitis, cancer. And that's all forms of cancer, particularly breast, uterus, cervical, colon, esophageal, pancreatic, kidney, and prostate cancer. Increases phlebitis, which is inflammation of the veins, gout, skin conditions, osteoarthritis for obvious reasons. Knees and hips are weight-bearing joints. They suffer as a result of carrying excess weight. Gynecological issues are on the increase with increase in weight. Gallbladder disease, and of course, non-alcoholic fatty liver is a big issue. And this is something that Lynn suffered with 2 rounds, perfectly normal liver. As well as those issues, there are immunological complications with being overweight, central nervous system inflammation, and dementia. Now, dementia is sometimes being referred to as diabetes type 3. So we have type 1, type 2, and type 3. In fact, there's suggestions of 4 and 5. But the cognitive issues that a lot of people have are actually accelerated and exacerbated with increasing weight. So cognitive function will improve when you are at your optimal weight. Autoimmune diseases of the thyroid are known to be associated with weight gain, atherosclerosis, which is that laying down of plaque, diabetes we've mentioned, chronic inflammation, the list goes on. Draw your attention to the right side of the page there. Depending on your body shape, gives actually you and me a little bit of a clue as to what might be the issues behind the weight gain. If your weight gain is more in the middle, so that's the apple, the red is the apple, stores fat mainly around the midsection, the upper body, common in men and women during menopause, that increases the risk for heart disease, blood pressure, and stroke. And the hormones involved with this one are often excess of cortisol and insulin. So these are the stress. So someone who's particularly stressed, pumping out all this cortisol, they tend to put weight around their midriff. Whereas someone who is more pear-shaped, this is more weight around the buttocks, hips, and thighs. This is more related to inflammation, insulin resistant, and the hormone there is more estrogen involved. So that might give you a little bit of a clue. Now, when we look at weight gain, these are typically generally accepted factors that drive weight gain. So nutritional deficiencies and imbalances, and ironically, we are overfed and undernourished. So despite overweight people often eating excessive amounts of food, these obese individuals often have high rates of micronutrient deficiencies. Deficiencies specifically related to some vitamins and minerals that play important roles in glucose metabolism and insulin signaling pathways may contribute to the development of diabetes in the obese population. Many people with obesity have inadequate intake of iron, calcium, magnesium, zinc, copper, folate, vitamins A, B12, and D. Now, there's a little bit of a generalization. Some overweight people and obese people tend to eat poorly. So they eat a lot of fast food. And these fast foods often are lacking in good nutrition. So their weight gain is often associated with mineral deficiencies. The excessive consumption of starchy carbohydrates, processed foods, and sugars, those foods which have a high GI and a high GL, so that is glycemic index and glycemic loads foods, and the consumption of unhealthy fats, both saturated fats and trans fats. Some people just get into a habit of chronic overeating, We know alcohol is very high in calories, so that absolutely contributes to weight. People who aren't in the habit of exercising, or perhaps have an inability to exercise, maybe they have arthritic issues, they have mobility issues, and so forth, so they can't exercise. So this is an issue. And we've had people successfully release weight without any exercise because they're actually confined to a wheelchair, or they have chronic arthritis. Stress can contribute to weight gain, particularly through the adrenals and cortisol. Chronic lack of sleep is known to increase the prevalence of weight gain. Genetics, yeah, if you've got some bad genes there, that might predispose you as well, but it also doesn't mean that's your fate in life. You can deal with that. There may be medical reasons, maybe someone's hypothyroid, which needs to be dealt with medically and as well naturopathically, homeopathically. Many side effects of drugs, steroids, some antidepressants, epileptic drugs can also contribute to weight gain. And aging, often as we age, our weight increases because our hormones down-regulate. So there's some of the generally accepted causes or factors that contribute to weight gain. But let's look at what may be some of the missing links. And chemical and toxic overload, I think, is a big factor to consider. And some of you may or may not have heard of endocrine disrupting chemicals such as xenoestrogens. And these are estrogen mimics. So they're foreign estrogenic type compounds, such as BPA, which is bisphenol A, the phthalates, DDT, they are all obesogenic. That is, they're almost like chemical calories. So you can eat food which is obviously high, bread and potatoes, which are high in calories, but there are chemicals in our environment that actually have a caloric load to them, in inverted commas. They actually encourage your body to store fat. They increase the number of fat cells in your body, and they reprogram cells to become fat cells. They also alter the way your body manages hunger and inhibits leptin production, which gets released from your fat cells, signaling satiety. So when you eat a certain amount of food, your body secretes leptins, and typically then you stop eating. But because all this disturbance with chemicals and toxins, that feedback mechanism is compromised. And so typically we just keep on eating even after we're full. Environmental pollutants can also contribute to the down-regulation of your metabolism. Perhaps someone has a sluggish thyroid as opposed to a clinically low hypothyroid. These chemicals and toxins can also interfere with your hypothalamus, which regulates your appetite. So hypothalamus is a little gland above your pituitary gland. So where do a lot of these chemicals and toxins come from? Well, they're in our environment, they're in the air we breathe, but often they're in the personal care products and the household products that we use on a daily basis. And you can see, and I'm sure you've all heard of many of these ingredients, the aluminium, the butane, the fluoride, the propylene glycol, SLS and SLES, sodium fluoride, talc, and tallow. These are just some ingredients in many of our personal care products that have a negative and toxifying effect on our body. And what's quite alarming is that within 26 seconds of you applying something to your skin with transdermal absorption, that can be detected in your bloodstream. So you have to be really cognizant of what you're putting in on your skin. Is your shampoo making you fat? Not because you're gulping in the shower, but it's the plastic, the phthalates and the BPA that's in the plastic container, which leaches out of the container into the shampoo. You apply the shampoo on your hair, it runs all over your body, your skin being the permeable membrane starts absorbing all these chemicals. The same thing is within your plastic bottles. Please don't use plastic bottles unless it is BPA free. Certainly orientate yourself to glass and stainless steel. You can Google these articles. I'm not going to read them, but they're out in the general arena. Particularly with women or anyone who uses a lot of personal care products, maybe a lot of cosmetics and hairspray and tanning lotions and lipstick and nail varnishes. This is a cocktail of chemicals that can be absorbed. In fact, I think the stats around lipstick, a woman can absorb and consume 3 kilos of lipstick over the course of a lifetime because they lick their lips and they eat and the food attaches to it and you end up swallowing it. And these chemicals, yes, not only can impact on weight gain, but can impact on your skin, impact on the hormones, and contribute to premature aging. The environment in which we live in has shifted. So 50 to 100 years ago, comparatively, our nutrition was better. So food was often grown locally. It went from the market to the greengrocer into your home within a few days of it being picked. And it was often more natural. It didn't have all the sprays and chemicals applied to it. The nutrition in the soil was of better quality. And so we had good nutrition and less toxicity. But these days, we have absolutely the reverse. Our soil is lacking in nutrition. It's over-harvested. Agriculture simply puts back NPK, superphosphate, nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, because they know, agriculture industry knows that they're the three main minerals that contribute to the foliage and the fruiting and the blossoming. And so we have to ask the question, well, where's the manganese, the magnesium, the chromium, the silica, all these other minerals? In fact, we need something like 97 different minerals on a daily basis. So our soils are continually being eroded. So we are lacking in nutrition. So we need to eat the best we can, but I'm a firm believer we do need to top up nutritionally. So that gives you a little bit of an intro to what this program is and the things we're grappling with. So we need to consider the toxins. We need to consider the fact of what's happening with our body in terms of our metabolism, our weight gain, our poor habits that we've embraced. So the EFR program essentially consists of two phases. Phase one is nutritional support, detoxification, and fat release. Now, the duration on which you're on the program totally depends on how much weight you need or want to release. Want is a desire, need is because you have to, because of maybe there are some health challenges. So there's a 21-day program, and typically some people can shift up to 10 kilos. So if you've only got 5 kilos to shift, you do 21 days. If you're looking to release up to 15 kilos, a 28-day program would be the preferred duration. But if you have a larger amount of weight, the 40-day program. And we've had some people release up to 23 kilos in 40 days. And the breakdown of phase one consists of 2 days of preparation, 3 days of kickstart. The kickstart is basically just protein days, no fruit or veg. Then you do step two, which is fat loss phase. Kickstart, you start losing some weight as well. And so step two is going to be either 14, 21, or 33 days, depending on the duration of the program. And then you have a transition of 2 days. So basically in total, it's either 21, 28, or 40 days. And then once you complete your duration, you then go on to maintenance. Now, maintenance is all about locking in your healthy weight, and it's for the same duration as phase one. So if you do 28 days on phase one, you do 28 days of maintenance. Now, a lot of programs out there might have just the fat release component. It might be a boot camp, it might be a particular diet. And when they finish that part of the program, they stop it and they go back to typically what they did before. And invariably over time, they end up where they were at the beginning with the rebound weight gain. So what we're doing here in maintenance, by having that equivalent period of time, it locks in your healthy weight. And the idea is that you maintain your weight within 0.9 of a kilo of your end weight at the end of phase one. So the Easy Fat Release program is easy to implement. It is sustainable. It's a holistic weight loss program by consuming wholesome, low-caloric foods combined with nutritional and detox supplements and an easy fat release homeopathic formulation. So what we're looking at doing is up-regulating your metabolism, because many of these chemicals and toxins have down-regulated, and aging simply down-regulates. We're looking at resetting your hypothalamus, which is your appetite center, to detox your body, to release your toxic and abnormal fat stores. Simultaneously, we're supporting your skin tone, improving your joint health, and may assist other coexisting health challenges. And just to give you a sense of some of the foods in the program, like you do get a document, it's 20+ pages long. It outlines all the food you're allowed. There's plenty of proteins to choose from. There's vegetarian options, so your proteins are on the left-hand side. There's 2 columns of vegetables. There's plenty of fruits to have, like a pure keto diet doesn't have fruit. We do have low-calorie index fruit, like apples and apricots, avocados. All the berries are generally good, cherries and blackberries and so forth. Guava, honeydew, melon, kiwi fruit, papaya, and so forth. There are a number of snacks you can have. There's protein snacks, almonds, there's rice cakes, there's some cheeses available and plenty of beverages. So you cannot complain that you're short on options. You absolutely have plenty of options to choose from in the program. So what we're looking at doing in the program, and I'm going to take each component, is that we're looking at detoxing and nutritionally supporting your body. Now, if you've got a car, you send it in for a service once a year. If you've got a bike, you service it yourself or have someone else to do it. Now, the same thing should be said of your body, because we absolutely accumulate toxins over time. I've already gone through a little bit of what toxins, what their impact in our body, but most weight loss programs do not implement a nutritional cleanse and detox regime. Therefore, many people experience unpleasant symptoms as toxins and obesogens are released from their fat and enter the bloodstream and keep on being circulated around the body instead of being eliminated. An example of this is in that diagram on the lower right. So you can see all these little dots represent the concentration of toxins in the body. So, and toxins are often stored in your fat because fat is considered a relatively inert organ. So your body, through some biological intelligence, will push the toxins in the fat where they're not going to create too much harm. It's sort of hiding them away. Now, so if someone loses weight, either by, like a boot camp or a non-detoxification weight loss program, what happens is those toxins per kilo of body weight are now more concentrated. And that is something that you don't want. So there becomes a toxic overload. And the trigger then to dilute the amount of toxins is to put fat back on. So this is where people lose weight and they put back weight on, and sometimes even more. What we're doing in this program is that we're doing cellular cleansing. So simultaneously, while we're supporting your nutrition and metabolizing your fat stores, we're getting rid of the toxins. So the risk of relapse is considerably less. And when toxins and impurities are eliminated with a nutritional detox regimen, and you can reduce your ongoing exposure to chemicals and toxins by choosing safe personal and home care alternatives, you can absolutely achieve long-term results. So the three components of phase one is one, nutritional support. So we're going to resolve and restore nutritional deficiencies such as vitamin, minerals, and trace elements. We're going to detox the body by neutralizing and facilitating the elimination of both endogenous and exogenous toxins, which I'll touch on. So the endogenous toxins are those manufactured within our body. So some people are manufacturing too much glucose, or there's too much lactic acid in the body. There's too much estrogen, toxins that are produced by your gut bacteria, and metabolic acidosis. So these are inborn toxins that we actually manufacture and create. And some people have difficulty in eliminating those elements. There are the exogenous toxins. So these are ones that we get from the external environment, such as the xenoestrogens, the BPA, the phthalates, the heavy metals, the petrochemicals, synthetic chemicals, drugs, both prescribed and recreational, and their side effects, non-clean labeled personal care and cleaning products, preservatives, insecticides, pesticides, the list goes on. So we're exposed to all these things. And the fat release component of phase one, we're looking at burning the fat and inhibiting fat absorption. We're encouraging your body to use stored fat as fuel for energy while preserving muscle mass. So we're looking at improving your muscle to fat ratio. So basically, on a lower calorie diet, you're still actually consuming as many calories as you were before. But the low calorie diet might be, 800 or something like that. But you're burning up 1,200 calories of your own fat, because as you break down the fat, you release ketones, and your body uses the ketones as a source of fuel to function. So you're burning your fat. So you're using the fat as your energy source. See, historically, we put on fat or weight during the seasons where there was prevalence of food and fruits and so forth, because we didn't have fridges. But now we've got fridges. You don't need to store excess fat on your hips and buttocks and thighs and so forth. So we'll leave that to the fridge. Keep yourself to your ideal body shape and weight. The fat release program resets your appetite center, and it upregulates your metabolism as well. Let's quickly look at the products. This program focuses on nutrition, and it focuses on nutrition supplements. And we're going to go through each one, just a quick snapshot. One of our first products is called Shape. It's actually a combination of two leading technologies, CLA, conjugated linoleic acid from safflowers, and this is actually a fat metabolizing fatty acid. So it actually, even though it's a fatty acid, it actually burns fat. And so the CLA inhibits fat absorption and reduces fat cell size and formation. The other component of this product is the collagen HA matrix. So there's three actually ingredients of the collagen component: collagen, hyaluronic acid, and chondroitin sulfate. And this supports flexible joints and healthy joints, as well as supporting skin tone. It's really important, if anyone's going to lose probably say more than 8 kilos, you don't want to have, or at least minimize, saggy, baggy skin. You know, we all know about the programs like The Biggest Loser, how they just did it as a boot camp type of regime, and most of those people needed to have surgery to release their, to remove their saggy skin. So with this program, with the support of collagen, it can minimize that as being a risk. We have a product called Natural Mineral Solutions. So as I said, a lot of people are deficient in minerals and trace elements. So this is basically topping up what you're not getting. So it contains colloidal minerals and trace minerals, like 97 different types of them in this preparation, in a very absorbable form, in a micro form. And this is overcoming many of those mineral and trace elements deficiencies. We put you on an antioxidant. So an antioxidant, what's its role is to scavenge free radicals. So free radicals our body manufactures purely as a byproduct of metabolism, as well as our exposure to free radicals. So these basically oxidize our body and it contributes to aging. So an antioxidant basically is an anti-aging supplement. And so in this product, we've actually got vitamins A, C, and E, grapeseed, pine bark, turmeric, and ginkgo biloba, a wonderful combination to support skin tone, your immune system, and anti-aging. We have an adult multivitamin plus botanicals. Now, this is just not vitamins. It's a whole list of vitamins, all your Bs, A, C, D, E, K. You've got a whole range of macrominerals, and you get your microminerals from the natural mineral drink. The benefit of this product, it also contains botanicals. It contains garlic, hawthorn, and lime tree. And this actually supports your cardiovascular system and actually can help reduce the amount of plaque that builds up in your arteries. So it's really good for any of those people who have lipid issues, have some blood pressure issues, as well as some plaque. So this will help support that. Many of you know about the benefits of your green powder. So this is the principal par excellence product in the marketplace, containing like over 25 different greens. It has your spirulina, your kale, chlorella, your broccoli, your spinach, and so forth. And the idea of a green powder is to alkalize the body and detoxify. By virtue of it being green, it's very rich in chlorophyll and it's very rich in iron and magnesium. And also the evidence is there that an alkaline diet, which this promotes, may help preserve your muscle mass. See, a lot of people with other programs, they disproportionately lose muscle as well as their fat. We want to preserve your muscle mass. So by keeping your body alkaline and having your products like Shape, that will support that. Your gut health is really, really important. And the expression of your gut health goes beyond your gut as well. So there's a lot of evidence suggesting the gut microbiome is involved in the development of obesity and associated comorbidities. It's also known that composition of your gut microbiome differs in obese and lean subjects. So they have a different combination of flora. And so supporting your gut flora with their own unique combination will help minimize obesity, as well as help correct other issues as well that rely on a good gut microbiome. And a lot of people find their gut issues improve significantly, whether it's IBS or wind, bloating, gas, indigestion, and so forth. Even autoimmune diseases are often all helped by the use of a probiotic. Where would you be without a good liver detox supplement? So in this product, we've got some Mary's thistle, dandelion, broccoli, a couple of other ingredients as well. This supports your phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification. And you can see here that the liver actually plays a significant role in over 500 different functions, So the better your liver is functioning, the better your overall health and well-being will be. We have an anti-inflammatory supplement, which works particularly on your kidneys. So it has celery, devil's claw, parsley, garlic in there. So it's reduced systemic inflammation, act as a kidney tonic, because some people who carry excess weight are also carrying excess fluid. So we want to get rid of the excess fluid. And we know that inflammation can have a significant role, a deleterious role, on so many other things. It drives diabetes, it drives autoimmune disease, it drives neurological disease, it drives cardiovascular diseases. So the less inflammation you have, the less likely you're going to develop chronic illness. We have a product called Balancing Drops, and this contains vitamin D3, cinnamon, zinc, and chromium. And what this is doing is to stop your blood sugar from spiking. So even though it's a low glycemic and low glycemic load diet, and there are little or no sugars, whenever we do eat, your body does break down your foods into simple components, and your blood sugars will rise a little bit. As soon as your blood sugars rise, your body secretes insulin, and insulin is your fat-storing hormone. So we want to minimize the spiking and elevation of your blood sugar so it prevents the excessive release of insulin. That's what this product is particularly doing. So taking 15 or so drops after each meal absolutely helps manage your blood sugar. So we're at the same time stopping your insulin from being secreted in excess, at the same time burning your fat stores. And then moving on to the homeopathic component, these are the easy fat release drops, which I actually manufacture. This is a unique synergistic blend of homeopathic remedies formulated with the objective to restore, reset, and normalize your hypothalamus, which is your appetite center, your endocrine and hormonal system, mainly your thyroid and adrenals, and in general, your metabolism. At the same time, we want to access your abnormal and toxic fat stores, which is mobilized and utilized as an energy source by your body, and simultaneously alkalize your body and reduce inflammation. So all these things are supported by the homeopathic remedy and the nutritional supplements. The ingredients in this preparation consist of a synergistic proprietary blend of nutritional, herbal, mineral, amino acid, and organo-homeopathic remedies. And the whole combination of nutritional supplements, the detox supplements, and the homeopathics allow for a quick, safe, and effective weight loss. Now, there's a couple of other optional products depending on what your need and individual circumstances are. If you're someone who likes a meal replacement or a snack, this is a great product to have. It's a chocolate shake pea protein. So it's high protein, low carb, low fat. It's free from gluten, dairy, eggs, soy, nuts, and it's GMO free. It tastes really nice if you like chocolate. It also has antioxidant added to that blood orange. It's pleasant tasting. So you might do 1 scoop a day as a snack. You might do the next day 2 scoops in a day as a meal replacement. If you're not into shakes or powders, great, you don't need it. It's an optional product. Here's another optional product. It's carb reducer. This actually blocks the absorption of carbs and starches, and it's the white kidney bean extract, which inhibits the activity of digestive enzymes, which is the amylase, whose job it is to break down the carbohydrates. And so basically, you would have this after an indiscretionary meal. I get that we all need to live life. We have functions to go to. We might have a weak moment where we have too much of a particular ingredient, or we have something that's not on the program. So instead of undoing all your good work over those previous couple of days or so, you can take 2 or 3 of these carb reducers after a meal or with the meal, and it inhibits the breakdown of the enzymes of the carbohydrates into simple sugars, so you just simply pass them out. So that's a lifesaver. For those who are prone to constipation, some people rely a lot on grains as their fiber. This program is very low in grains. So there's no bread, there's no rice, there's no pasta, sorry to say, because, you know, there's a saying, if you continue to do what you've always done, you continue to get what you've always got. So it's all about making some changes. So if you relied on grain for your fiber, some people find their bowels tend to slow down. So this is a really good product of both insoluble and soluble fibers and probiotics to support your gut function. If someone is particularly troubled with arthritis, maybe they've got high blood pressure, they've got cholesterol issues, EFA Krill might be an additional product to include as well. that you can discuss with your support person as to what the best strategy is there. Now, to support yourself through the FR program and to embrace some healthy lifestyle habits. So we encourage people to exercise. Typically, we'd say only do about 80% of what you were doing before, because we don't want your blood sugars dropping too low because it's low caloric index. So we want you to maintain your function. So, and I encourage some weight resistance training. Muscles are very hungry for fuel. So when you actually do weight resistance training, the muscles will actually burn up a lot of glucose, all right? And for a lot of people, it's good to exercise on an empty stomach. So actually, your body is forced, it uses the available sugar in your bloodstream. It then breaks down the stored sugar, which is glycogen in liver and your muscle. It uses that up, and then it says, well, I'm still exercising. Where am I going to get my fuel from? It starts breaking down your fat and uses transfers the fat into ketones and uses that as an energy source. So for a lot of people, exercising on an empty stomach, for those who want to lose weight, is a good thing, say, in the morning. But embrace something. It might be some cardio activity as well, some Tai Chi, swimming, walking. Get connected with the community as well. Create those connections, whether it's the gym or family, social groups, church, spirituality, meditation. Get involved with tennis or bowls or men's shed. But particularly with family, I think it's important to enroll your family in what you're doing. Have them support you and actually ask them, will you support me? So they don't offer you the chips or the chocolate when they're having that as their treat. So ask for some engagement, enrollment, and their support. So how do you track your progress with the FR program? So there's a couple of ways which you could actually go forward. One of the easiest ways is jumping on the scales. It's a bit of a no-brainer. And for a lot of people, they do that. They jump on the scales every day. They do it at the same time. They get up, go to the toilet, jump on the scales, and you can see a difference. We suggest you do that every day, as well as do your measurements, say, once a week. So measuring neck, shoulders, chest, breasts, biceps, forearms, waist, hips, and your thighs and your calf. And do that just once a week. So that, for some people, is a great way to go. But not everyone is enthusiastic about the scales and what it says and reflects back to them. So some people might go about clothing size or what they're feeling within their body. So it's important that you find that the strategy that best supports you moving forward. Some people might just go based on their sense of well-being, you know, their energy, their vitality. And you heard from Hayley how her well-being and her sleep and so many other things have improved as a result of her weight loss and going to gym. And we know gym stimulates some endorphin release, and that's obviously elevates your mood and well-being. So some other examples here. Jane released 16 kilos, so you can see the before and after figures. Couple of comments on phase 2. We scaled down your supplements. It's the same duration of phase 1. So whether it's around 28 or 40 days, the idea of this phase is to lock in your healthier weight, lock in your healthier shape, and consolidate your health benefits. So the idea is to maintain your weight within 0.9 of a kilo. A couple of other stories. Here's Jackie. She came on the program because she saw other people lose weight. She'd suffered with headaches from the age of 14, had taken medication every day for the past 30 years, which is almost unbelievable. Being on the Merdare supplement, she said, I'm happy to say I no longer suffer from headaches. I'm now a happier, healthier, and more confident person. So watch out for the side benefits of the program. Ramona released 19.5 kilos in 40 days. Danny released 12.8 kilos in 40 days. And you can actually see the anti-aging effect that this has had with Danny. Helene and her sister Anna, twins, released a combined total of 90 kilos, totally transformed their health, overcame so many other health challenges as a result of shifting their weight. I've done the program as well. I did the program first time about 12 years ago. You know, active, led a healthy diet and lifestyle, went to the gym, running. But in spite of that, you can see on the picture on the left, had abdominal fat. Well, you know, why? We know that happens with aging. But like, you know, I was really committed to try to help shift it and was really battling. So I did the program and I shifted 8 kilos in 21 days. And you can see that after the 21 days, and then to have kept that off as well. So you stick to some really good habits that you embrace during the course of the program, you can have the same weight 6 months, 10 months, 1 year, 2 years later. For those who may not have so much discipline, big deal if you have to repeat a short program in 1 or 2 or 3 years' time. Paul released 21 kilos in 40 days. He went from 101 kilos down to 80. Okay, so let's summarize here. So the Easy Fat Release program not only detoxes your body, but you're also looking to detox your home, because it's a bit of an oxymoron if you're getting rid of all the toxins and using crappy, poorly labeled products in your home. So we want you to minimize the ongoing exposure to toxins and endocrine disrupting chemicals and obesogens in your body and your home for successful fat release and long-term health benefits by swapping over to clean labeled products that are non-toxic, such as your safe personal care products and your home care products. So we partner with a company called Modere. That's where we've accessed all these nutritional supplements. They provide a very easy strategy to swap over, like your bathroom collection, toothpaste, mouthwash, shower gels, hand washers, shaving gels, soaps, and so forth. Everything's there. There's the laundry collection, there's skincare collection. So you're buying all these products anyway. So why not simply buy those potentially harmful products that you may be using with harmful ingredients to a Live Clean labeled brand. So Modere is an online brand. They help people to live clean by swapping to safer products and reducing the toxic load in your home, in your body, and in the environment. That's important too. And have easy access to quality nutritional supplements. So Modere is a brand you can trust. There's no animal testing, responsible and sustainable packaging. They leave a lighter eco footprint. All their products are BPA phthalate free and recyclable as well. So how do you get started? So you connect with the person who invited you onto the webinar. You ask for their support in getting you started by opening a free account, which I think I have on the next couple of slides. I'll get there in a moment. So you register with Modere for free to purchase the products. You use their promo code. We suggest you get the Lifestyle Transformation System and any additional products. If you're not going to get all the personal care products or laundry care products, what I always say, I run through each of those individual products and say, okay, what are you low on? What are you going to be purchasing in the next 28 days that you'll have to replace from the supermarket? I might say, oh, it's my deodorant or my shower gel or my toothpaste. Great. Swap over at least one of them. And each time you go to place an order, you might get a couple of those home care or personal care products. You get all the documentation. The documentation is provided to you for free. The only thing you pay for are the products. You get all the charting to record your weight and your measurements. We encourage you to keep connected with your support person who will mentor you through the EFR program. So obviously your support person will support you in each and every way. So they'll assist you in creating a free online account with Modere, assist you in placing your first order, assist you in accessing the Easy Fat Release homeopathic drops, guide you through the EFR program. They'll answer your questions. They'll assist in keeping you on track. They will troubleshoot and help you through any challenges you may have throughout the duration of the program. And they will co-monitor your fat release. And hopefully you will open to sharing your weight and your measurements, and whether you use the clothing as a means to assess your progress or your sense of well-being. And also your mentor will inspire and motivate you if and when needed. In terms of the cost of the program, and I'll just increase that. So Modere's come up with a subscribe and save option. So basically, this is what we suggest, because you actually are able to reduce the cost of your product by 15%. And even though, and you can delete that after each time you place that order and rejig that for your next order. So the first round of the 9 products, there are 9 nutritionals. The full price of that is $470-ish or so dollars, but with the 15% saving, it's $407.36. So that's 15% off. You get $10 off as well with your first order by using the promo code from the support person. If you do want any of those other additional products, you can see there, this document is provided to you as well, whether you want the shape, chocolate pea protein shake, which is about $45, which is going to last you at least a minimum of a month or more, or any of those additional products. As you go into the second rotation of products, there are less products. There's about 6 in total, and that's about $220. And as it says there, this is an absolute authentic investment in your health, because you want to ask yourself, what is the cost of you not following a protocol to safely and effectively reduce your weight? So I'd like you to ask yourself a question to identify what your why is. Maybe it is from a health perspective. Maybe you're pre-diabetic. Maybe you have insulin resistance, where even though you're pumping out insulin, it's not able to attract the sugars and store that effectively. Maybe you're hypertensive. Maybe you have elevated blood lipid profile. Maybe you're suffering with some arthritis in your hips and knees, which need to reduce weight. Maybe your healthcare practitioner or GP has advised you to lose weight and looking for a good solution. Maybe there's a family history. You don't need a crystal ball to see how you're going to turn out. You have the gene pool of your parents, so you may look to them as to what sorts of illnesses or what their shape is. Perhaps you're doing it more from a self-image perspective. You can't fit into your favourite clothes anymore, and you don't like the way you look and feel. Maybe you're looking to increase your self-confidence, or maybe you've got a special event coming up, a birthday, a wedding, a get-together, or a reunion that you want to look your best. So find a good reason to lose weight. And absolutely, it is time to take control of your health and your life. So thank you for joining us on this webinar tonight. If you have any questions, I encourage you to seek your support person out and have them answer any of those questions that you may have. So I'll close the webinar now, and we'll also leave a little bit of time open for